frustrated you about the movie the most? And honestly, does the James Gunn style work without James Gunn, kind of like I presented before the break?
Yeah, I mean, I think what frustrated me the most is that the main story, again, we're kind of like mixing the questions together, but yeah, like I just thought the main story wasn't that interesting and that there was like a better movie, and that we're kind of teasing off another question is like there was a better movie in there. I just kind of felt that the Krypton segment of this movie, so there's like
Again,
basically, as we're getting into spoiler
it.
territory now, there are segments of this movie where it explains Supergirl's origin on Krypton and like how Kara's father, Zor-El, basically got a group of Kryptonians together so that when Krypton's core like exploded, that there could be like a force field and they could basically like take their city, Argo City, and just float about in space where like the rest of the disintegrated like Krypton blown up planet.
Because they know famously, as we also know with Clark's parents, that it's gonna blow.
They know it's gonna blow. So basically, Zor-El's, Kara's father's like plan is to save a group of people and put them on a floating part of this now deceased planet. And Jor-El's plan is to send Kal-El, his son, to a planet to conquer it.
So that's as you remember,
So they make it very explicitly clear that they sent that in this universe, Jor-El sent Superman to conquer Earth or just whatever. Wherever
no mistakes there.
Yeah, wherever he ended up.
Low-key, I'll say it. Lex was right.
Yeah, so he was right. That was not misinformation. He was speaking the truth.
Yeah,
he was speaking facts. But now we have Kara, who spends like he grows up on this now hunk of rock called Argo City, and basically, you know, she has like seems to have a pretty nice childhood until she becomes like a teenager, and then her father basically says this force field and like a little part of the core I think that's how it's explained.
Yeah.
Is that like it's basically like irradiating everyone. It's slowly killing everyone.
Because she was born on Argo. If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah.
So it's like slowly irradiating everyone, and basically if she doesn't leave the planet, she's also going to die. And so we need to recreate Kal-El's little box and send you down there so that you can live. And he makes it very explicit, the father, that, you know, she should be like a beacon of hope or whatever, you know, like she should be there and like be a benevolent person, not a ruler, but person.
Just a person.
Yeah.
Be kind.
Yeah.
It's a big
and be kind.
Like,
and, you know,
through line through all this.
Yeah. And then, you know, she reluctantly goes, and then she eventually runs into her cousin, Superman, and she doesn't know how to speak English. She can only speak the Kryptonian language. And so you can see her sort of slowly, there, you know, in other parts throughout the movie, the flashbacks sort of come in incrementally, and you see her sort of try to make her way on Earth and make her way in the world and learn English. We don't see exactly how that works, but eventually she learns it.
Yeah.
That's all we really need to know. And then she goes on all of her adventures that are like the main plot of this movie, and then she returns.
Yeah.
And then, you know, talks to Superman. Is like, I think I'm going to stay a while or whatever. I think the most frustrating part of the movie is that was the best part. And like another question we have is like, is a better version of this movie? Does it exist? And I think it exists like in that. I think the most frustrating part is that there's just so much wasted potential, and you could have made this movie just so much different. You know, you could have had the main plot of the movie that was here that exists with Krem and all that other stuff as like a third act side thing, where like the rest of it is just her learning Earth and like trying to learn her powers and learn like her place. I think that's it, because, you know, that seems to be kind of a theme in the movie, is like her, like she's drunk and she wants to do this, but she doesn't know like her place in the world and what she wants to do.
I mean, which is why she's going to the Red Sun.
She goes to the Red Sun
to get drunk so she could probably numb the terrible feelings.
But the thing is, it's based on, I think another frustrating part is that it's based on like plot and not like character as much. It's like she's in a place and she's drunk and she just doesn't want to help out this one lady who, you know, Ruthie, sees her whole family die in front of her, which is very just kind of like forced. It felt very weird because all of a sudden like her whole family dies, but then like Krem doesn't like capture her also, because like he's like a trafficker, you know, that's his whole thing. So I'm like, okay.
Well, even his whole thing in the source material is that he's not even like, the villain is not it's just another villain for that exact reason, because the story itself is about Kara coming to terms with her own grief and her own pain through kind of like this Ruthie character, who I felt like after learning a little bit about Women of Tomorrow, I was like, damn, I really think they did Ruthie a bit dirty too, right? Because there's just not a lot of substance between her character other than like Kara having to calm her down whenever she wants to take vengeance on a character like Krem, and then you intersplice the other moments, which is at least frustrating to me as well.
Yeah. Ruthie also, I just thought that was an infuriating character.
It's a tough character, man.
Infuriating character, because she just walks into a room. Like, I get if naivete is what you were going for, but it's just so annoying, because she also like doesn't, she's just there to advance the plot, basically just to get Supergirl to go somewhere else.
Well, I don't love the idea too of one of these important characters in the pantheon of the DCU, and this story in particular, being used as almost like a plot device, and the actor herself not getting a lot to work with to make her own like inroads with her own talent in the movie itself. I don't know. It's one of those moments where I have to catch myself, because when we talk about these films, I think there's also a bit of a, I don't know, reluctance I have to be as critical about like the way they're shot, or the way like some movie critics on YouTube cover like female-led roles and stuff like that, especially in comic books. Obviously, I like Captain Marvel. The Marvels was just not it. I like Miss Marvel, but like there's a lot of people who have like a lot of hate directed at them simply because the people who are in and leading are women. And that's one of those moments where I'm like, okay, I'm looking at this where I'm like, okay, it's almost like the source material itself is like not necessarily the most respectful to what makes it so unique that Supergirl, and only Supergirl as a character, could be the one that this story is like told through as a conduit, and Ruthie. And all I get, again, like we were talking about, like for me, the most frustrating part is that the story truly, and I mean truly, just does not have heart in it. And it's a story that it seems like needs heart to succeed. And it needs visual style that's distinct, and it needs to really give Kara, Millie Alcock's Kara a lot more room to shine, rather than being cast off to the side in some moments like she is when the green sun comes up and she has to wait for the yellow sun, and it's almost too easy because she like just has to writhe in pain for a bit. Ruthie gets captured, she has like a weird conversation with Lobo, and then she's fine again. She comes back, has her big Supergirl moment where she shoots into the air, and I'm over here supposed to like care about her like emotional struggles. I'm like, no, you're giving me just like slop moments that any superhero could fill, rather than the beauty of what the strength is behind a Supergirl character. I just don't really think that they allowed Millie Alcock to really cook with. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Also, Jason Momoa. You mentioned Jason Momoa as Lobo. Like,
why?
It's a good fan cast because everyone wanted it.
It's literally a fan cast.
People wanted it 10 years ago, and they're just like, whatever. I guess we'll put him in the movie. And so he's just there to just do stuff, just to say things.
And he's not Aquaman in part. Yeah. Like, he doesn't act like Aquaman, but he's still Jason Momoa. And
he's just doing like, Jason Momoa. I think he even goes, yeah, which is what famously in Justice League, at least the Justice League, he goes, yeah. So I mean, it's just kind of, you're just getting Jason Momoa as just a guy. It's like we've seen Jason Momoa like in so much stuff already. So it's like,
well, if you didn't know who Lobo was coming into this, would you have cared about this like Lobo character?
He basically just comes in to just like kill one particular guy. Yeah. Not even like Krem, not even the leader of is it the Bergens? Is that what what are they called? I don't remember.
I'm just calling him the Krem. I'm sorry. This goes to show you, it just didn't stick with me, bro.
Okay,
like,
yeah.
But no, he's looking for the one guy with Krem and his boys.
Yeah, he's just looking for a random guy just because he's got a bounty or whatever. But yeah, it's just he just pops up and just kind of in like conveniently to like save Supergirl and Ruthie when they're like in trouble for a little bit. But he doesn't do it out of like any altruism. He's just kind of like,
wow.
Amazing. I'm just here to kill people and like, see ya.
Yeah, he has that moment with Ruthie where he's like, I knew she had it in her. Like, what?
Yeah, when they're both like locked away in the cells, and like Ruthie comes up with a little plan to like bring one of the guys in and then like stab him on the little spikes that are on the jail cell, and then he's like, yeah, I like you. You're a feisty one.
You're a feisty one.
I was like, okay.
You're like, cool. I was like, if I have no idea who Lobo is, I'm like, well, Jason Momoa's not doing for me, and the script is
and he's like, I'm just taking a nap. Like, that's the thing. He could have escaped anytime he wanted. He just was there to take a nap.